G'day guys. Just thought I'd pop on here. I don't know if how many of you guys that see these videos know much about me, but maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't. But for those who don't, I grew up in North Dandenong with Matty Johnson, the fellow who killed Carl Williams. We were childhood friends. He's 1 year younger than I am, and we started out together as good mates. You know what I mean? But in an area called Menzies Avenue in North Dandenong. You know, this is all verifiable. Anyone can ask Matty if they want. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is because we lost one of our very close childhood friends this week, a fellow by the name of Bell, Chris Bell. He was a Menzies boy, as much as me, as much as Matty Johnson, as much as, Camel and Clarkey and Cam the Moth and Casey, Kenny Mather and anyone from Dandy, you know what I mean? He's as much a dandy as those guys. So, I'm sure Matt would be, I don't know if he does feel sad these days, but I'm sure he'd be affected when he finds out that our friend Chris Bell has passed away. I'm going to the wake next week with the mother of Matt's daughter. There you go. So that's how close I am. We grew up with Matty in Dandenong. And I've known him, did a couple of my first sentences in A Division. He said to me in A Division one day, I'm going to do 20 years before I'm 40, Camo. And I was 22 at the time, so he was 21, but he'd already done 3 or 4 years, he'd already been locked up for a while. But yeah, he said to me, I'm going to do 20 years before I'm 40. I love it here. I said, why would you want to do that? And he said, it's awesome here, mate. You don't have to do anything. I'll do it all for you. And, he got out once in between now and then. And when he got out, he got, I don't know, some big drama. But then when he went back in, he made sure he's not coming back out by fixing up the car. I think Carl got a bit too big for his boots and mixing with the big boys. I think he was a bit out of Matt's league. Matt's out of most people's league, but definitely big tubby Carl. Carl Williams' brother used to work for me in a butcher shop. Pear, we used to call him, because that was his nickname, because that was the shape of his body. He used to work for me in a butcher shop. That's a whole other story about how I bought a butcher shop off Carl Williams without even realising who he was. That soon found out, but that's a whole other video. This one was just about Matt Johnson, and my good friend passed away during the week, and I just wanted to get on and say, look, I grew up with Matt, but I'm sure he, as hard as he is and as cold and ruthless as he is, I'm sure he'd have some feelings about our friend Chris passing away. Now, if anyone hears about this, if this gets back to Matty, there's only me, Kia, Matt, I think maybe 1 or 2 other fellas left from Menzies of crew that grew up when we were born in the early 70s. I'll know more after the wake. Hold that thought. I'll make another video in a couple of weeks after the wake, see who's there. I might even have a word to Matt's daughter, see what she has to say about coming on, maybe, or at least, passing on a message or putting me in touch or get, some sort of contact, so and get some celebrity on here, eh? So that's about it. I just noticed I've got another subscriber, so I thought I'd do another quick video. I've also had some very encouraging posts. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support. I know I'm not very good at this, but I'm doing my best. Hopefully, I'm hooking up with some guys next week going to help me out, and we're going to do a collaboration on a couple of walkthroughs in the flats in Richmond and whatnot, and I'll show you some of the territory, boys, all right? All right then, guys, well, that's about it for now. Just a nice, quick, short and sharp. But, yeah, a bit somber this week. Very, very close friend of ours from the very, very early days, he's passed away. And makes you realise how, how quick it all passes you by. All right then, let's not get too morbid. Keep things light. See you guys.